Hey hustlers, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Jasmine, aka Jazz Hustles, and I am a 21-year-old Amazon seller. And I started selling in the beginning of last year and I'm still going at it. As you can tell by today's title, I wanted to make this quick video so that I can kind of go over what is going on with Amazon restricting brands for new sellers. If you came across this problem, if you tried to open up an application to sell a certain brand for Amazon FBA and it says not available or restricted, then you are going to want to watch this video. But if you haven't already, make sure to like it up, subscribe for more, and push that little bell so then you're notified whenever I post. So if you're a beginner seller and you don't even know about ungating, let me just kind of go over briefly what ungating is. So since we're reselling brand name products, we have to get approval for these branded products. So how are we going to be able to get approval? You guys can watch all of my ungating guides on my channel, and you basically want to provide an invoice. Now, they don't accept just any invoice, but most invoices that I have used were from Target.com, Frontier Wholesale. If you do have an LLC, you can use them. You can also use Ulta. I did hear that you can use Walgreens to get ungated. I've personally never used Walgreens, but just try it out and let me know if it works for you. But the main thing that I used was Target. You can also use soccer.com when it comes to different sports apparel brands. But Target, I feel like, is the main website that I use to ungate many different beauty brands, toy brands, grocery, anything at all. Frontier Wholesale, I actually use for grocery. I use the Stash T, which is basically the same. You can use Yogi Tea from Target. And basically, you are going to want to purchase 10 units and you're going to want to get it delivered to your house. Now, you have to remember, it has to be the same exact address that you put on your own Amazon selling account. Everything has to match. So you have to purchase it and get it shipped to your house. You can't just walk into a Target, let's say, for example, and buy 10 Yogi Teas and use a receipt. You can't use a receipt, you can't use the in-store receipt and the order details because it's not gonna have your address on it. So whenever you are trying to buy from, let's say, Target, there's gonna be three options. There's going to be delivery, there's going to be in-store pickup or curbside pickup, and shipping. You always wanna click shipping. Now, people may get confused with delivery and shipping because it's kind of like the same word, but delivery means it's coming from like, it'll be getting to your house quicker, but it's coming from an actual shopper, right? You don't want to click that because those invoices, they don't provide the correct documentation for that. So you are going to want to click shipping. Whenever you're buying something to get ungated, you don't necessarily have to sell it after you get approved. So you guys can watch my ungating tutorial so then you can see the full in-depth tutorials on how to get ungated in this and that. But basically, you're gonna have to do that right when you get your Amazon account set up. You cannot sell much of anything before you start getting ungated. Now, there's gonna be a few brands here and there that you actually can sell off the bat without even having to request approval and buy 10 units. But it's a little harder trying to look for those that are also profitable for you. So you are gonna wanna keep in mind the ungating process. So make sure to go to the ungating guides in my channel after this video if you just found out about the ungating topic. So when you are purchasing from Target, they are going to provide you an invoice when you click the shipping option, and they're going to provide the invoice after the product ships. So they're not going to give you a little piece of paper. It's different for every store. Frontier Wholesale, they actually provide the invoice inside the box that it comes in, but Target's a little different. So Target, you just go to your order details online. It's good to create a Target account and you are going to see the invoice there. So that's basically the gist of it. Like I said, go to the ungating tutorial so I can show you even more about it. But one thing that a lot of people are having troubles with right now, especially new beginner sellers, and that has came up to my attention, even though I am not really having these problems myself, I do always want to make sure that I am, updated with the newest information. So then for the people who are starting out reselling on Amazon, because I motivated them to, I inspired them to, I want to make sure that I get to the bottom of this whole restriction thing. So Amazon has actually started doing this year. I never had any problems when it came to restricted items, maybe once in a blue, but I'm noticing that a lot of beginner sellers are starting to get restricted in different brands. And now, what does restricted basically mean? Restricted means that you can't even open up an application for it. So that's one thing that a lot of people have been having problems with. Like I said, I haven't had any of those problems. It's mainly for the new beginner sellers. There is a few brands that I actually was planning on ungating because I actually did have to provide an invoice and they were restricted for me as well. So you'll see it's when you go to your Seller Central and you put in that ASIN, then so then you can open up the application, it's gonna say not eligible or not eligible. It's gonna say something similar. It's gonna be grayed out and it's not gonna let you open up an application. So at the moment, Amazon is a little tricky and a lot of people will realize that and automatically, think it's not worth it, and Amazon is not for the weak. You can't just come across the problem and just automatically quit. So just heads up, do not quit when it comes to all of these restricted brands. A lot of people ask me what brand should I get ungated in, and I provide them a list of brands that you should get ungated in, which if you guys want me to do a tutorial on, not a tutorial, but another video on what brands you should ungate as a beginner seller, then just let me know in the comments. And I think that would be pretty beneficial. I've been coming across a lot of other new sellers that were saying that they're restricted for this. Like, I would recommend get ungated in Barbie, get ungated in Nerf because Q4 is coming. And once they see that the application, it says restricted, they can't even sell it right now. So at the moment, Amazon hasn't really said too much about the restrictions. Us Amazon sellers, and I'm just also making this video just because I want to let you guys know myself. I get so much DMs a day, so much people inquiring about what is going on with the restrictions, right? But this main video is here. Like, I wanted to make this video because no matter what restrictions they have for the big popular brand name products, they're most likely restricting all the popular brand name products that everyone always talks about. But you have to keep in mind, there's thousands and hundreds of brands out there that are super profitable, that are even smaller, which is better for you, less competition, that are not restricted. But the thing is, you have to go out there and start finding. You have to start sourcing. You have to start, if you guys don't know how to source, link into my sourcing tutorials. I do a lot of OA tutorials as well. If you guys want more OA tutorials from me, just put it down in the comments. Basically how to source online on your computer rather than going into the physical stores. But basically you are gonna wanna start sourcing way more, just because there's no way you're gonna figure out what brands you can sell, what brands you can get ungated in without even sourcing. So you are gonna wanna look into different brands. Don't even think about the brand name, the most popular brand name products that every single big Amazon seller in the space mentions. I feel like mention them so that then you guys can kind of understand like what we are selling. Like, I always mention that I sell like Dove, Barbie, Skinny syrups, like stuff like that, like brand name, big popular products, right? But I sell a lot of other random things too that I don't even mention to you guys, like different brands, like, because you guys don't know of them. So well, most gurus do this, or most Amazon influencers do this. They just like really show you the most popular brand name products because you guys know of them. We're not gonna sell you some brands that we still sell because honestly, we most likely will be selling the smaller brands. I do still sell a lot of the popular brand name products. Like Nike has been restricted for a while now, and I did a video on what is going on with Nike. So you should watch that video after if you are trying to resell Nike. I'm not too sure when it's gonna be unrestricted. I'm honestly not too sure when any of these big popular brands are gonna be unrestricted, but you have to remember, most Amazon influencers are selling their brand name products that are not as popular. So if we can do it, you guys can do it too. You just got to go out there and source and start finding different brands. We're just naming these brands, like I said, because you guys are familiar with them. So don't crash out. Don't be discouraged when you see that you can't sell Barbie, you can't sell this or that, Dove. I've been selling Dove, and a lot of people have been commenting, Dove is restricted. We can't even sell Dove right now. Like, I think a lot of times when beginners are looking at my videos or any Amazon influencers videos, I don't know, they just want to take the easy way out. And if I post something that I'm starting to sell, everyone's gonna look for that brand. Like, no, you don't have to. There's so much profitable brands out there. It's just what I'm trying to show you now. I'm not gonna show you the other products because no, you can ask any seller. No one knows exactly why Amazon is restricting new beginner sellers. Now I can give you speculations, but you gotta take that with a grain of salt because it's literally just my opinions. It's not like finalized, okay? Amazon tends to not tell much to the sellers. We end up finding out ourselves with doing our own research. off of like just Amazon sending us emails, because sometimes they will tell us about certain things, sometimes they won't. Most of the times they won't. We just got to figure it out for ourselves, do research, talk about the topic with other Amazon sellers. But basically, like, I personally feel like Amazon has been quite open for a few years. Like, they were just letting, you know, anyone get ungated in anything. And it was just so easy to get ungated. I feel like right now, like, they are cracking down because they're getting a lot of counterfeit. They're getting a lot of bad Amazon sellers, people who are just unauthentic, people who are just ruining Amazon's, I guess, business. Well, of course, Amazon is still good, up and running, but I guess they just want to clean out all the bad sellers. And that's why a lot of sellers have been getting Section 3s as well. If you guys don't know what Section 3 is, it's basically just like they give you an email, and they basically say like, you have to provide proof of purchase for these 3 ASINs that you recently sold in your store. And I actually just recently got a Section 3 and I just recently beat it. But let's say I did not have the proof of purchase, because they were asking for the proof of purchase, basically like a receipt, an invoice. It doesn't have to be an invoice. It's not like Ungating. It can be in-store receipt. It can be order details. It can be any of that, but it needs to be proof of purchase. But they were asking for 3 ASINs that I sold in the beginning of the year. If I didn't have, because it was 2 that were physical in store, and that's the only documentation that I had for proof of purchase. And it was 1 that I actually bought from a wholesaler. So I was able to provide the invoice from the distributor because that was easy, but I had to look through all of my receipts to find that exact receipt for that date for when I bought those ASINs. So that's why it's really super important to make sure to keep track of all your proof of purchase, because you never know when they're going to come across and do something like that, or you never know when they're going to lose your units. Now, you're hearing all the bad things when it comes to selling on Amazon, something that a lot of people don't talk about in this space, but I'm just being real with you. Now, if you are not weak, if you can deal with it, if you see the success with the money, then honestly, it's no big problem. Like, if it was a big problem for me, I wouldn't even be selling on Amazon. A lot of people would not be selling on Amazon, but a lot of people comment on my stories and post, like, just discouraging other people. Like, they would say they lost my units and I never get the money back. Like, you just got to go back and forth with them when it comes to that. I never got my payout. You have to keep and remember the account level reserve. Like, there's so much people that are trying to stop you from doing this business. Like, if they're not in the position that you want to be in, don't even pay attention to them. I feel like it's great to be on social media and have a community with the business that you want to start and eventually be successful in. But when it comes to the people who are like half-assers and like quitters, and they comment, then other beginners see that, it's like really discouraging to the beginner seller. Now they're like, oh damn, yeah, I don't know if I want to do it anymore. But honestly, that's how it is. And there is people that are going to be super discouraging. There is people that are going to be weak and not, you know, take this business serious. So a lot of people ask me all the time, like, if you're making money off of Amazon, then why are you posting this? Like, why are you even showing your sales? Like, why? It's documenting my journey for a reason. That's what I decided to do, and that's what I'm doing. Okay. But yeah, I just wanted to talk about that. So yeah, restrictions, I feel like they're just cleaning out, you know, the bad people, making sure that it's like tight again. Because when it comes to the biggest e-commerce platform, like, they want to make sure that nothing messes anything up, okay? Because the sellers, the third-party sellers, we are the face of Amazon. So they want to make sure that we are good. We're not selling anything fake. And that's the main reason I feel like they are starting to, you know, do all these restrictions. But just keep in mind, guys, there's still so much money to be made out there. The big popular brand name products that you're sad that you are restricted in, you can't get ungated in, it's not the end of the world. It's really not. Because I'm honestly, like, those brand name products are great. Those big popular brand name products are great, but there's so much other profitable products out there and profitable brands. You just got to find them. And like I said, we Amazon influencers, we don't really talk about it because it's just like, whatever. Like, it'll be the most random stuff ever. Brands that you never even heard of but are doing crazy well online. So just think of it like that. This is kind of like a more motivational video as well, because if you are getting discouraged, I know there's a few Amazon beginner sellers that are getting discouraged, and you know, they're getting excited to get ungated, and a lot of times they would already buy the 10 total units and then they see they're restricted. One thing I would tell you for sure is, before even buying anything, since you know this is a problem now, to get ungated, check to see if you can't even get ungated. Literally, I tried getting ungated in a brand called, OMG, LOL surprise, something like that. Because I found it at Ross, they're so profitable, so profitable. It's like $40 profit for a doll. For a doll. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna go home. I'm gonna get engaged in this. I was literally at Target. I found the product that I'm gonna be buying because you have to make sure that the product that you're buying from the store, Target, for instance, is selling on Amazon. So you have to go into your Seller Central, put in the ASIN, and then paste it. And then if it says apply to sell, then you're good. You can apply to sell. That's great. I was about to buy the 10 Target units, but it did not say that for me. It said I was restricted. So there's nothing I can do there. I just can't sell that brand right now. Did I cry about it? Did I weep? No, that's literally, you cannot be weak with this business. And then one more thing that I also wanted to mention as well. Hopefully you guys got to the end of this video because this is a really important thing as well. I think a great advantage with working with beginner sellers is that I get to notice all the problems that you guys are having. I may not necessarily be having those problems because they're not messing with more of the advanced sellers now. Because if you have a history with Amazon, a good history, then they're not really gonna mess with you as much, even though they did mess with me, Section 3, but it was fine. It was okay. I'll forgive them. But basically, a lot of people are getting engaged in grocery. Thank the Lord there's no grocery category that is restricted, because that would be major. But I don't think they're ever gonna do that because there's just so much brands under the grocery category. But if you don't know how to get engaged in the grocery category, tutorial up right here. Using one tea product, like the Yoji tea product that I recommended, you can literally engage 99% of the grocery category. Now, most of the times, well, as of recently, a lot of people have been saying that they got approved for grocery, they got approved for the brand of the grocery product that they use to purchase, and they are still not able to sell any grocery. So what I recommend you do is, let's say that you are looking into some cracker brand, let's say Ritz. I don't know. I don't really know too much about Ritz brand selling on Amazon, but let's just say Ritz is under their grocery category. You should be able to sell it. And if it says you have to provide an invoice for Ritz to get ungated and to sell it, honestly, just provide your original grocery invoice, your original tea invoice. Say that you bought the Yoji tea. Any type of grocery product that you are trying to resell, you thought that you were already going to be approved and it says you're not approved, you have to provide an invoice. Just submit your grocery invoice, your original grocery invoice. Now, I know that it's not the same product. I know it has to be the 10 total of the Ritz crackers if you're trying to get engaged in Ritz. Try it out because that's what I've been recommending to some of my mentees, and it's been working like a charm, literally. So just keep doing that. Now, there's going to be I said 99% grocery category because there is going to be some brands that you can't ungate, just ungate in the grocery category. So let's say Starbucks, you would actually have to buy 10 Starbucks products. And I feel like the reason for that is that because Starbucks also sells materialistic things. So they sell cups and stuff like that. And if you go on Alibaba, there's a lot of fake Starbucks cups. So that's why they're a little more strict. Like you can ungate the full grocery category, but you can't ungate the full beauty category because what is more prone to being counterfeit? Beauty or grocery? Who makes fake Doritos? No one. So that's why it's easier to get engaged in the full grocery category or 99% of the grocery category, but there is going to be some brands out there that will not work. So if you are ungated in the grocery category and you have your, let's say Yoji tea product invoice, just submit that invoice, put in the details that you've been already approved, like an optional comment on your selling application. You've already been approved for the grocery category. This is proof that I, have the 10 total units of this grocery product that was bought from Amazon, and just say that. And then they will literally, like most of the times with most of my mentees that had that problem, they were literally being accepted like minutes after. So try that out. Hopefully you got to the end of this video because this is a really important thing that a lot of people have been telling me about, but try using your original grocery invoice for that other grocery product, even though it's not the same. That's pretty much it for this video. Comment the word fire down below so I know you're serious about this business. And if you haven't already, make sure to follow my Instagram and my TikTok where I post on those every single day. Make sure to watch out for all those fake TikTok accounts of me. The only account that I have on TikTok is JASHUSTLES, Jazz Hustles. And if you haven't already, make sure to go down into my description. That's where you'll be able to see all all of these services that I offer. I do have a complete Amazon FBA guide that's linked in the description. I also have a Discord community. Most people don't know too much sellers in the area. It's honestly, selling on Amazon is a community of people. So if you would like an extra community of people where you can just network with, also have group Zoom calls every single Friday with me, as well as receive 15 to 30 new profitable products that you can resell on your own store, make sure to go down into the link in the description. And last thing, I do have my mentorship program called the Hustlers Academy, basically where you'll be getting one-on-one unlimited Zoom calls with me and my partner, Javon. And we will also be able to go over anything that you want to go over in those calls. You'll also be receiving 10 plus hours of the informational step-by-step video modules, basically the course that I created for you guys, as well as lifetime access to the Discord. So if you are looking for an Amazon mentor, just apply down below. Make sure to answer all the questions on the intake form because I don't just accept anybody. So that's it with this video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys real soon on the next one. Peace.
You said that you would come again. You said that we would remain friends, but you know that I do not depend on nothing or no one.